got someone coming to pick up their piglets. You see we've got all the dishes done from, we've got breakfast done, we've got all these dishes done from cleaning up the plums. We're gonna let them soak in the sink. Again, freeze-drying plums, freezing plums, eating fresh plums, making plum preserves. That's 3 to 4 different ways of keeping a harvest to last long. So something that is perishable, that doesn't last a long time, we just made last 20, 30 years. Now we're gonna go wash some vehicles, but before we do, we're gonna help them get these piglets. Once we get the piglets, we'll come back and try to clean up around the house. I did get the clothes folded, so hey, success today.
Good job.
Drive?
Yeah, can you back out and let me?
I don't think so.
Wow.
Scoot over, scoot over.
Wow.
All right, 2 of the male hogs are gone. So we've already sold 3 of our females last week, but we could not sell the males because a lot of people won't cut males. So we did castrate this last week. They're done, they're finished, everybody's healed up, doing great. These big ones here we're going to be dealing with over the next few days and weeks, but we had to kind of just check on our hogs. Anytime we cut males, we don't want to ever sell our males right after we cut them, just, you know, to make sure everything is healed up, they're healed up. So we cut them about a week ago. This is the rest of the 4 males I have in here. I have a male and a female in here just so they have companionship, and I have about 3 females out in the forest. So we've got those out, 2 of them are gone. We have another 5 going tomorrow. So when we, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 in the forest still. Yeah, 4 in the forest, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 left of the hogs. 5 will go tomorrow. We wanted to keep 3, so I really need to sell 2 more. I don't have to, but I'd probably like to. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna let these 5 go tomorrow, see what we have left as in males and females, make our decision on how many we want to keep, and then we may list the other 1 or 2. But hey, good things happening, because once we get rid of these hogs, and I say rid of, sold to other farms to benefit them and their families, we can focus on our big males and trying to get them processed too, and that'll help dwindle out some of the herd that's eating, and then we'll start building up the new herd that's coming up for food for 2026. Car wash break. Oh, did good. Who made our lunch? Did you make the lunch or did you make the lunch? Sailor made the lunch. She made some sandwiches, fresh tomato. Livy, you helped? Okay. So we got 1 or 2 more vehicles to do. We just stopped for our lunch break though, huh? You working hard out there? Huh? Sayla was like cleaning everything out. She was like, I'm done. Huh? All the cars are washed. It's been a long day. The kids just got out of the pool, and now they're literally calling it a day. I've got to fill up the fountains and just kind of fill up some water bowls of some of the animals, and also got to water all these crops by the pool and in the greenhouse. I'm gonna take you to the greenhouse to show you kind of what's going on there. And then again, you see some of this stuff is wilting. It's just so hot. So we've got to finish watering, and then we're gonna call it a day too. And again, this is our last night before the rest of our family comes, which is good. We're glad to be able to see them tomorrow, but we're just gonna spend time watching some movies, making some food, just enjoying the day together. We have worked hard. The kids are like literally worn out because they're not used to having to do everybody else's chores. So we've got all the chores done, all the things done other than just finishing up some water, and we're gonna call it a day. Gotta get here in this jungle. Look, we got a few more plums. Our alarm has been going off all day. We've been trying to get the squirrels, see the squirrels, but I don't know if our alarm is just kind of faking us out or what, because we're never finding them. Every time we come over here, run over here to see if we see a squirrel, we don't. So either it's running it off pretty quickly, or it's giving us a false sense of security. Let's get some watering done. While we're watering, you see the peppers. There's where I'm watering right there. We've got tons of peppers already ready. So I'm gonna pull these few peppers. I think those are just regular chili peppers. I can't tell from where I'm at. I don't think that's cayenne. We planted cayenne and just red chili peppers. I think that's red chili peppers. This tomato over here is doing good. We got 1 in the greenhouse just because we have the pot there. And everything else looks like it's doing okay. It's so hot in this greenhouse, we leave the door open, and I'm constantly, I've watered every day just to help Misty out. But this heat has actually made these peppers do really, this this heat has actually made these peppers do really good. And these are, the ones right beside I think are tea. So we got tea leaves. We've been trying to grow tea better. And so I think they're looking really good. We've got some bananas planted over there. We're really trying to grow a repertoire of stuff that we have never grown, just to try it out, see what does best. There is a tea farm that's close to us, so I think if they can grow it, we can grow it, and that way that just gives us one more thing to actually make as our own tea, and that's pretty awesome. We're getting milk poured up for cheese because I think we're a little inundated. We're finishing up the butter. We've got a homemade blackberry cobbler on. It's been a good day. Tired day. All the kids are laying down over there. I think they're worn out too. Last task of the day is getting cows moved. We actually got them moved. We couldn't turn the camera on because it's kind of hard to kind of move them all and get them done, and especially without really having a leader. There's a lot of heifers, a lot of little steers in this group, so they don't want to move as easy. So we had the ranger on one side, then I was running on the other, but hey, they're moved. We just got to move their water and also their trough. I want to show you this. This is what's so important. You see how this grass is growing? You see how green and fertile it is? Compared to that right there. That's a hay field that has not been grazed and haven't been cut since last year. This is a field that's already been grazed about 3 or 4 times this year alone. Look how much it grows. The importance of regenerative agriculture. So the cows are going to be moving on these. You see these spots where the hay was. You can see where the grass is just dead in certain spots. So that's why we put our hay there. So when we're feeding hay for the winter, we find the weakest, bad, worst spots and just put the hay there. And then that way, like this year, it's too matted down. But you see how last year, look at that grass starting to grow through that hay. That's what we want. You see it's a lot different change, huh? We got the little pigs that we were selling out. The rest of the ones that are here are the ones that we will raise for food for next year. You see how they're just all piling in? That's what we want, because this is what we got to do. We got to catch these big bad boys right here up and get them ready to process. So I'm glad to see the big pigs are walking in there like it's no big deal, because we'll do the same thing with them. We will catch them up in there and get ready to process. So the next few days, what you're going to be seeing, we've got a little bit more farm chores to do, you know, normal stuff. But what we've got to do is we've already separated the little steer that keep getting out. He's in his own field. We're going to be feeding him heavy, make sure he has access to water and hay, and pretty much getting him ready to process over the next few months. The sheep, we've got them cut. They've all done good. We're going to bring the 3 biggest boys into the catch pen right there and get them ready to slaughter. Then, even though this field has tons of grass still, we're going to go ahead and remove them and put them back in the bigger field over here, because I've got grass growing like crazy, so I need to get that cut. Then lastly, I've got to get the pigs taken care of. So the next few days is all about meat, and then from there we've got to get the rest of the onions up, and then honey will start. So fun times, a lot of food, a lot of feeds coming in, a lot of things going on. We're just glad that we're able to get it all finished and have tons of food. Look at this field. This is that sheep field that they've got to come graze. If they don't, it's just going to be worthless. So they're not going to eat the tall stuff anyway. But you see how those seed heads are? Those seed heads will make for a better grass when they start stomping on it and what they're not eating for the year. Even the catch pen, it's got so much clover and grass growing in it. But whatever they don't eat will be good, because it beds down and it'll grow better harvest next year. It's like, for instance, this little patch of this grass right here, they're not going to really eat that. But the more they trample on it and the more these seed heads go and blow into that area, the better it's going to get. And these fields only get better over time. Remember, just if you ever watched our videos 5 years ago, this was a pine thicket. A pine thicket, y'all. Go back to our very first videos on the Max. A pine thicket. Nothing growing in here worth anything. And now look at the lush green fields they are. And that's all because of regenerative agriculture. That's the last project of the day. Dumping that water, getting it moved to the cows, and finishing up. Only thing I'm worried about is I'm putting them in this field because look, you see the beautiful grass they're eating all the way throughout. Here's my only issue, and this has happened before, that's why I'm worried about it. This is also the field that has my bees in it. Now, all of these older cows, they could care less. They're not gonna come close to them. They're not gonna bother them. But you see those little heifers over there? A lot of times that curiosity, they'll go over there, smell it, accidentally bump it, make the bees go crazy. They run, they hit, knock the bees over, Now you think I'm crazy, but that's actually happened. So I'm hoping that those 2 little heifers and that other, there's one more little steer and heifer over here, about 4 little ones, don't cause problems. You see they're already, instead of eating grass, they're over there in the woods investigating. That investigation makes me worry about the bees because I've got a lot of honey inside those hives, and I do not need heifers and cows to mess that up or make the bees leave, because this has been some of the best hives I've had. The 2 biggest ones on the end, they're super aggressive, which means I've got to always be ready and prepared, but they're also bringing in tons of honey, which is great, because last year we had a lot of bee makers. We had a lot of times we could split. The bees did good, but they were not big honey makers. This year, these 2 hives on the side, we requeened them, and oh my gosh, they have made some honey. And we've already got a double stack on them, meaning we're hoping to get at least, you know, instead of 5 gallons or so a hive, I'm hoping to get 7 to 10 gallons a hive just in spring, not counting fall honey. So don't need those 2 heifers over there causing problems right there. This young girl is my newest mama. I've raised her strictly on farm. She's pregnant. I can tell she's pregnant. She's not the prettiest cow. You know, I can tell the difference in cows because I look at them all the time. So all of them are Herefords. All of them have the same spots. All of them favor, but they're a little bit different. That one is not my favorite. She looks a lot like her daddy. If you remember, if you ever watched my old videos, the bull named Quarantino was her daddy, and she looks just like Quarantino. Quarantino was a sweet, sweet, sweet bull, but he was just kind of a runny bull, not real aggressive at all, and was not really the prettiest bull, kind of like Sunny. Sunny is an absolute gorgeous bull. So she favors her daddy a lot instead of her mama. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't really matter as long as she's a good cow and she's a sweet cow. That's all I care about, because she's not crazy. But she's going to be my newest mama come soon. She should be bred and should be having a fall calf. These 2 mamas here both should be dropping babies late spring, early summer. So we should easily get to a point of adding 5 more calves by year end with the dairy and also the beef, which is a great sign. I hope that we can have a few more steers. If you remember, I lost 1 steer this last year. So, and of course we processed the other. We have 3 more steer to process over the next 2 years if you know, everything goes smoothly. And of course, if it's God's will and nothing happens to these animals, nothing happens to us, we should have 3 steers in line. So I really need 1 more calf to be a bull, so we could go and steer him and get him in line as well. One good thing about the sheep getting processed is that's another form of red meat, and that allows us to have some breathers with our good red meat here. Also, we've been grinding pork up and actually eating it as meat, like red meat, versus putting sausage in all of it. So we've been able to make our beef go longer because of our lamb, because of deer, and of course because of our hog. So when you're a sustainable family, 8 of us, along with Aiden's girlfriend who's always here, which is a great thing. It's 9 of us, and then sometimes we have friends over. Sometimes we have little get-togethers and birthdays. We eat a lot of food. We eat a lot of meat. And so beef is definitely the most prized of all that because it takes the longest to grow. So when we have those cows having calves, and those calves are heifers, that's great. It helps us replace the mamas, but we also need the beef, the meat, which is going to be the bull calves, so we can steer them. So it's a good sign that we have 5 bred mamas. I'm hoping to see some of those mamas not only give us heifers, but give us some bull calves, so that way we'll prepare for the meat production for 2 to 3 years away. Isn't that crazy how we're already preparing for, you know, 2026, 2027, 2028 when it comes to meat production? So it's always looking to the next season, the next time of life, because when you're prepping, you're always looking for, not just now, for later. Grilling some burgers. Kids are having fun to finish up. Kind of being home alone, the young ones and me. We've had a fun time. They're enjoying pool time, burgers on the grill, and being a family. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.